The woman just blinked. That made the man drown. Get everyone who's not involved out. After the man finished the test, the woman next to him danced softly. This step also makes the man alert, but she silently took out her weapon raw. Then she rushed towards the juniors next with an iron sword from the bottom. A deadly trick. She took the opportunity to get a gun on the body and take him out as a shield. Find a chance to kill one person at a time. What kind of identity does this woman have? Why did you kill these people? A few days ago, the building police inspector and his partner Jack watched the side of the road. The suspect Coco appeared. Immediately start the vehicle blocking the enemy road. Unexpected result, Coco take out gun raw shot Jack injured. Then the driver boldly left. It's a shame that Jay is a superhuman shooter. Whether the target is running, they only need one shot. Then the car lost control, upside down in the air and roll a few rounds. After the building inspector found it in the car, someone ran to find it. Because the racial advantage is so profound. Coco can't escape from your hands if she runs in the sky. When you're about to be caught up, he took people hostage to wear his stomach. But I can't believe that the heart is not the same. Give him an elbow in his stomach immediately. Right after that, the passerby rushed over the Coco. While that Gao Coco floated gunshot wound. Who goes the next way? He tried to take the boy hostage. He was shot in the neck by a car. The body fell into the river surrounding the city. Another side, our hero Intaji is a professional assassin. A few days ago, you get the order from the middleman who's Finn. With the request to kill the boss's enemy, she went to a private tailor's shop. It seems that your relationship with this tailor, very close. She took the shopkeeper's hand, injured by someone else. Ask if the person who came to the store is still here. The old man was also curious. What convinced the enemy? You smile, of course, is to use virtue to subdue people, and then give him a massage. Obediently obey. Then he took out a suit that was raining that night. She dressed herself up and went to a bar. I just opened the door and there was a security guard. When you get inside, you look around. The target is sitting in the middle of the drinking room. Right now, a girl in a white dress is standing on the stage. Sing. Not long after, a man came to hold her hand. You were sent by them, right? Come to handle this. Being flirted by Jay, SOS immediately ordered. Get people who are unrelated out. Miss C.A. Jen, I'm sending a text message to a guy named Coco, but I still don't get an answer. Until it was announced by friends that Coco was dead. Now SOS can't believe that Jay. He came here to take his life. She took from the rope behind Ra a Japanese sword, and then quickly cut him a few times. The men in your room didn't. I saw the bar guard carrying a gun. She rushed up to launch darts. Then run for momentum and jump on the enemy rock. The search is not dead. He picked up the gun and walked out of the counter but was shot. The boy grabbed the barrel and was strangled. He hit a man in the throat, dropped his gun, and then she snatched his necklace to finish off a man. CA, the geneticist, also fell on her head because of this fight. Her eyes suddenly turned black. Only 2 of you are still alive in the room. I pointed a gun at the police officer, but I can't do it forever. After knowing that the gene had been carefully considered by Muji, I finally decided to forgive you. But Ji doesn't know that. This action will bring you an accident. It's terrifying. Jin returned to the church. It seems you're praying for the poor. That I have caused. It's clearly stated in the contract. You have to kill everyone in the room. Jay thinks Zen is just a normal girl. But the Chinese told Jin, but the other ones in that room, certainly not a normal person. Your principle is to protect ordinary people. It's my responsibility to make sure of this. I kept asking Film if the gene she planted was worth dying for. Film didn't answer right away and talked about love. With my aunt, they're like-minded outsiders. That outsiders wouldn't be bound by anything. The principle of the people inside, not suitable for them. Then he told me to continue on duty, on the other side of the building. The nature of the suspect should be questioned by his superiors. But obviously, the suspect hit another police officer and passers-by. They even take children hostage. Why can't you kill him? The police chief is in love with you. After you finish explaining, get up and leave. Guided in front of his motor is Harvard, the police chief of Europe. The Sydney Police Department is also investigating this case. After the investigation, Everest spotted before Coco was chased. He's texting a girl. The girl replied that, "You're writing a new song for him." Songs in Coco's headphones. It's by a female singer. But they couldn't find this song online. That proves it's just a demo. More. The massage parlor gang was killed yesterday. The only person who survived was a genetic surgeon. The song in Coco's headphones is by Jeans. Shinny added that in those killed, there was a man shot dead. The other four were killed based on the wound. Can guess the murder weapon lay sword Japan, but the inspector was half convinced. Really? Someone can take a Japanese sword into the Sao bar. He even used a sword to kill a thug with a gun. At the same time, Ji in raw a fake identity card. Her job is a US embassy consul named Null. The next day, after disguising himself, he went to the hospital. The police are outside the hospital. After seeing the proof, immediately believe her. After moving into the hospital room, he said he was from the embassy, but you secretly injected some kind of poison into the water bottle. Are passing on genes. I pretended to accidentally ask what happened to the eye gene. After knowing the nerve, the vision of the gene is inserted and swollen. I don't know if it's temporary or permanent. Prepared to leave the hospital room, but Jen asked his aunt to help him call his mother. I'm afraid my mother is worried about me. This makes me feel compassion again. She went to lock the water bottle, transmit the results. The drunk also went to the hospital to investigate, so as not to be suspected of projecting. You can pretend to be an employee. Embassy stay in hospital room. When drunk asking for the killer's appearance genes. G finished listening and immediately took out his gun and got ready. The gene results say, looks like that AI put drugs in your drink. So you don't remember anything about that night. The nurse came to visit the patient and unlocked the water raw. Jay is very nervous. Once he asked her, she said she didn't know. Jay is sure that the gene is lying. You must be hiding something. They both left the hospital together. After the movie is over, G just left. I got a phone call from the US Embassy. There are no staff on the embassy side. The name is Null. When I turned off the phone, Jay was gone. Jay get the book raw, laughing and making a mark on the fake name. Just now, Robert went to the mediator. He lost 775 million euros because he's standing in front of Prince Magesp. The prince was cut off by his father. All products. He bought the rice out of his own pocket, valued at 75 million euros. You just need to be able to sell it. We'll receive 300 million euros, but now it's stolen. The Prince of Manchester wants to go home. You have to go to the French police. The police officer is Inspector Sai. You have extraordinary ability. Is an upright person. It gave Robert a headache. You're no different than the thorns in Robert's eyes. Getting drunk at the hotel, where the Prince of Saudi and Magic are. The prince who had just met said, here's a lot of money. To be able to stay more comfortable, Magic is buying the hotel. The prince hurried back to find his father, but the plane is still in the hands of the French police. That Jay had to ask a few questions to get back on the plane. A few days before, for 30 p.m., Prince Minecraft's plane has landed in Libbygate. We're going to Beirut, was impersonated by a group of criminals to stop the French customs police. And then they hijacked the plane. One of them was the search that was killed. I asked the prince if he knew the robbers, but got a negative answer. I asked what was on the plane. The prince lied that there was nothing, but it's actually a lot of heroin. When Jay took the group search raw, the prince said he didn't know these people. Prince Magic pretends to know nothing. Jay took out Robert's picture. This man is the pastor of Paris. There's nothing bad about not doing it. Prince Sanchez heard that. Explain for Robert. Is that human AI must also Norwegian? When the prince hurried away, drunk again. After all, the robbers stole something. Prince Magesp did not answer. And the focus of the problem, he uses his prince rod to pressure him. French police have been asked to return the plane. No other party comes to you. I noticed there was another girl here. Asians too. Finn explained that it was the new Chimai. Replaced the position of her D. Moreover, Chimai is very religious. But soon after, Africa asked D. The girl in the bar was still alive. It was because the police suddenly showed up. So you can't act. Next, it tells Jeans that they don't know anything. You can't even identify your killer. You're lying and you're making a mistake. The problem is she's not talking. I don't want to take action. It makes you suddenly remember what happened before. He then carried a gun, temporarily used it to kill Mako. It also makes you see a beautiful jewel, unpolished. Then, he turned Ji into the perfect killing machine. But now it seems that the machine has moved. Two assassins are about to kill the Jin. Jay immediately took the motorcycle chase. After a very violent chase, Jay catches up with the car while hitting the steering wheel hard. Then the car crashed into the building on the side of the road until it stops. Two assassins try to get out of the car. They rush to the hospital. Another party drunk to the hospital to visit his teammates. Jack brought 2 bottles of beer. Through a conversation between 2 people, can see they're always investigating the whereabouts of the Kia heroin, and it's on the prince's plane. At the same time, Dee pretends to be a nurse who delivers food to the Jeans. After entering the hospital room, she immediately goes to the front of the Jean and tells the Jean that people who want to kill Jeans because of what happened at the bar that night. If you want to survive, you have to believe. After Jun nodded, the first, Ji knocked out the police guarding outside, then quickly pushed the Jean out of the room. But right now, the 2 assassins have arrived at the hospital. Immediately shoot to people in the hospital. When you see someone, you shoot them. After hearing the gunfire, Zen immediately ran over. I told Jun not to speak up. Then she also took out her gun and muffled it. Lying on the ground, fire a hazard alarm trigger. Then pushed Zen's cart back. A car with an assassin. After the nurse guard left, in just a few minutes, I beat him. Unfortunately, the killer was wearing a bulletproof vest. He took this opportunity to fire a fire extinguisher while driving to take the opportunity to wrestle the killer. After 2 people look at each other, Ajay immediately pushes Genji. Drunk just used a few tricks to break the hands of the assassin, then throw him in a room. Ji takes Jun to the lab. Suddenly you feel someone behind you. Turned out to be drunk. Both of you point a gun at the enemy. Jun alone doesn't know what's going on, but Zen realized that Jay was protecting the Jin. When the 2 assassins showed up again, they each deal with one. Again, it takes the same amount of time to solve. The killers then turn to point their guns at each other. Drunk, no more bullets, and Ji always keeps a bullet in his gun. Then she fell drunk. He pretended to be drunk and pointed a gun at his head. I just gently opened my eyes. Then he was beaten up again. Ji just pushed Jenny and took Jen to her secret house. The next day the prince met Robert. Take out Robert's picture. Go to the prince's hotel. This made Robert very angry. The prince may not have to worry about anything. Just run home with me. But Robert didn't have much of a way back. And because of this, Robert lost 75 million euros. So he wanted to kill the chicken and scare the monkey, so that people with deep intentions don't touch themselves. I can see the prince's attitude is still half this. The muscles are so relieved that the hand squeezes the egg. The guard saw that and rushed in, but the muscle is less irritated, angrily holding a fork stabbed many times. Fortunately, Finn stopped him. Finally, Cobbard told the Finn. Choji was ordered to kill Prince Majp. On the other hand, Ji is still talking to the Jin. The Jin results gradually recognize the person in front of you. It's the female assassin. That night, Jay admitted. Jun told Jin, people in the bar that day, who stole the apron on a private plane. Coco's boyfriend is one of them. But you hid Jun in the car. Look at them, handle the loot. But where exactly do they hide the goods? I don't know. Only know that in a cheap rental housing in Paris. That you hid in the warehouse is to open the door from the inside. Just like that, you stole the entire shipment. I also called the AI to say that I have goods. Then at the suggestion of taking the goods to a prison in Paris. Jun is not innocent. Dan danced to the church, grab a gun, grab a dance hat. But in my heart, I still struggle. You can't pull the trigger forever. When Finn comes here, G said he killed Renzo and threw the body into the crematorium. Finn hesitated for a long time, still not delivered. Show G's quest to kill the ghost prince. But in fact, G's genes are hidden in the penitentiary room. G continued to hold his hand. It's because the genes are very similar to your dead little sister. Another party building content inspector in the hospital. He was again scolded by his superiors. He said the prince had a lot of suspicions. The doc smelled a strange smell on the plane. Top officials do not believe the building. They say more than 100 times. On the prince's plane. Cost up to 350 million euros. They've been watching the prince for months. But the sheriff's been talking lately. The United States just bought about €1 billion of Saudi oil. More. The Saudis also bought military weapons of the same value. If it's about the prince of their country, business is ruined this time. They will lose more. The police told me to leave, but I didn't give up. After the investigation, I found a fake G camera, a person of the embassy. She also appeared near the bar that night. They are still investigating life. G often goes to buy food at a store. G went to the fast food store that day. When you step out drunk, waiting for you here for a long time, drunk taking newspaper in Ragi. I saw that there was an English translation. After taking people and food to the police station, you two start talking to each other. After helping G finish the word-filling game, drunk actively say, "Extra met you for years ago. You've been shot in a crime scene. Tomorrow is trading," but the drunk's teammates ran to meet. There needs to be some time. I asked J if she was in that situation. How will you handle it? How many times do you wear your shoes? It's the drunk sheep. Where did C try to live? D gives her a condition to return the word-filling game. You're going to take C to see the gene. The result was a gentle escape from the police. She hugged the advertising tarpaulin down from upstairs. It doesn't seem surprising. You even smile. Robert's throwing a Finn party to find him. Robert asked Finn at Saudi has not acted yet, but Finn didn't focus on Robert's words, staring at a glass of wine until it is given in front of Robert. After Robert guesses the glass of wine, he was shot dead by a waiter. Robert's killer is Chimay. It's very clear that this is arranged by the filter. It turns out that the Finn sent the thief. It has nothing to do with the prince. All the other side. When Jay got home, she didn't see the gene go down. Broken aquarium fish also fell to the ground. She hurried him into the water. After watching the camera, the gene will be captured by two young men. Finn is now texting to CJ. Jay's subordinates gave me some pictures. These people are all insiders in the police station. Drunk immediately to the office. I can't believe they're standing up. Stacking machines in the police station. When you get drunk, you realize this is not normal. You start running immediately. The dirty police immediately chased him. Drunk school Theo D clinged to the advertising tarpaulin jumped down. The result is a fall in the hand. After getting up, immediately run out of the building. I brought the fish to ask the tailor to take care of it. He told D, the dirty police are looking for you and leave you a phone number. Not long after G and Phil met, send someone to get Jen. G also did not hide to speak frankly. Kia heroin shipment is in the hands of Phil. Phil praised her for being smart. You two will be each other's best friends. But G suddenly said he wanted to quit. Heard that Phil very angry. G shouldn't have done this much because of jeans. She just wanted to save her jeans, so she quit Sao. G didn't say much but asked her Phil what to do. New Phil refractory Ren. Phil orders you to kill drunk. Drunk will appear in a farmer's market. It is located at the 43rd floor. J's sniper rifle is finished. Very quickly the car appeared in her sights. I can't believe you met your best friend Jack. Tomorrow is also ready. If Jay shoots, she will shoot you tomorrow. Then Jay calls Kia's number. I can't believe it was Jack. G told Jack that she trusted him like that. But you're a traitor. G then asks Jack to give Cho the phone. If you don't save the child, drunk on the phone, he shot at Jack. When Chimay fired, he only hit the mannequin. Next to tomorrow, he was shot dead when Jay learned that Jack had betrayed him. He threatened Jack to tell him the location of the heroin. Then Jay and Jay act together. Jack is in the back seat, but he wouldn't tell me where the goods were. After Jay promoted a few, Jack said, give me the answer. Then they threw Jack in front of the hospital. G quickly decisively kills the criminals. Drunk people. Just shoot. Was scolded by his superiors so suddenly that he was gaping. Then they went into the warehouse. Drive the truck. G phoned Cho Fin. He's planning an assassination today. Obviously because I want to kill you. The filter doesn't feel guilty. This is the end Jay suffered for betraying him. At the same time, Finn has a new killing machine. Jay is no longer important. But Jay made a transaction request. If Finn does not deliver Genzer, you're going to drive a truck and not march around. But right now the filter is really worried. Get out of the car after entering the church. As usual, she lit a candle to confess to the murder. A moment later the movie goes to church. At the same time, there are many assassins. I just went inside and had a gun to my head. He opened the phone, where jeans are also under threat. Roof rope. I'm listening to their conversation right now. And put a bomb in the car. G finished flying and immediately rushed out of the church. A few shots at the grave. Then the dust on the beer sprayed Rollo into the eyes of the female assassin. She shot around and accidentally hit the Jean. After Jay is done, the motorcycle driver immediately came to the Jean. But there are other assassins here. At the moment the driveway comes in here, the gunman frantically took the lives of the assassins. Results after filming out, he shot a flat tire. See Law next to Jay. When the bad guys get close to the car, you start the bomb. All the white goods are destroyed. Jill took the opportunity to enter the church. You two work very well together. Kill the dirty cops. Suddenly the pigeon flew over C's face. Suddenly I looked at Theo. Fortunately, he escaped a fatal shot. The car is out of ammunition. He held the middle of the gun as a stick. Hit the filter. Then you push him to the pole. The two rushed into a fight. He twisted his neck, but he gouged out his eyes. I pick up the filter and hit the ground. G's gun is kicked by the assassin. She quickly dodged the bullet and ran to the side of the corpse. Pick up the counterattack gun. You and the assassin together control the enemy's guns. While fighting, Jay jumped up. The enemy borrows the weight of his body to the booter and kicked her gun with her foot. The result is when the two get into a fight again, Jay is still controlled by the enemy. By the time the female assassin arrived with a knife, G Slope is very resistant. Next, kick her. I can't believe there's an enemy with a gun in the church. He tried to steal a gun but was shot in the stomach. The car saw the sound of a drunk. Suddenly her eyes lit up again. On the other side, the war continues. They just solved two. He was stabbed in the back. He's still fighting assassins right now. I can't come to help build it. Finn pulled out the knife and stabbed into Say's stomach. After G found out, she immediately flew over the chairs. After picking up the gun on her step, on the back drunk fly to the neck clamp to shoot the enemy. D said D would ask questions to divert attention, but when you hit the Finn, I want to shoot more at the same time. She was cut off by a female assassin, and now SA took the opportunity to run back to her bag. When you to fight again, G squeezed the killer's nose and waited around. To her 5 braids, used the force to break the neck bone. The result was suddenly shot. Turns out the fine isn't dead yet. Jin gave a sour smile. She looked back at Phil and asked him, "Wrong shoes." The inspector immediately understood G's intentions. By the time the film's hemorrhoids are left somewhere else, he threw his gun to G. After picking up the gun, G fired a shot in the forehead to end the film. The death position of film, just like the god he always worshipped. Finally, Jin blows out the candles. When he stitched up Cho Ji's wound, he invited G to learn the craft of sewing June with him. A few days later through the telescope, she saw Jun and her mother reunited. This time you don't have a gun, just holding a telescope. On the other side, the drunk cop is convalescing. Your boss wants you to go to another department. Jay warned you if you didn't. I want you to talk. Prince Mashef drug dealer. Take me back to my old position. The boss just left. The phone that was hidden in the plate rang out. Jin told me she wanted to find a new job. After a stable life, I'll send you a picture. See again, take the key raw word filling game, tell D. The last keyword they're looking for is rebirth. D smile. When you turn off the phone, throw the scarf away. From now on, you will have a new life. Here is the full text of the movie Thieseler. Newly launched. Do you see this movie or not? If it looks good, comment number 1. This is normal. Comment number 2. Thank you for your interest, follow. Hello and see you later.